Welcome to 11.6 Systems of Equations. I want to remind you that if you're having problems or questions on any example that we go over, go ahead and write them on the right side. Okay, there's a column, plenty of space for you to do so. So keep that in mind. A system of equations is a set of two or more equations that contain two or more variables. The ones that we're going to look at today, we're going to have two equations, two variables. In order to find a solution to these, we're going to have to use one of two methods. Now, when I say a solution to the system, it's the set of values that are solutions to all the equations. So, for example, in this very first problem, there's two equations, two variables. We can find an x value and a y value that if you plug them back into these equations, they will make true equations for both. Like I said, there's two different methods. The first one we're going to look at is substitution. Just by the word substitution, you can tell it you're going to be taking something and you're going to be plugging it in for something else. If we look at these first two equations, we have both of them are y equals. One equals y equals x plus 1, the other is 2x minus 1. If we take this portion that I circled and we plug it in for y, because we already said that y equals this, so we're going to take it into our first equation, and instead we're going to substitute it in. This second side is going to stay the same. So now we have an equation that you've solved before. If you get all of the x's on one side, all of the numbers on the other side, you'll be able to solve this equation. I'm going to add 1 to both sides so that these cancel out. I'm left with 2x equals x plus 2. I'm going to subtract an x, and I'm left with x equals a positive 2. Now I'm not done here. I have gotten an x value. What I have to do once I get this x value is I have to plug it into one of the original equations and solve for that y value. When I do, I'm just going to choose the first one. Y equals x plus 1. I'm going to plug in 2 for x because x was our value down here. And when we solve for y, we get y equals 3. We want to put this as a point when x is 2, y is 3. If we wanted, we can plug both of these back in and be 100% sure that these were solution sets for this equation. The next problem will be done in a similar manner. I want you to pay special attention that these two are both already solved for y. If they are not, okay, we have to solve for one of the variables and then plug it into an original equation. Since they are, we can take our x plus 3 and plug it in for y right here. So we have something like this. Okay, notice both are y equals, so we can take whatever the y equals and set them equal to each other. Now that I have taken the next step, these cancel out. I'm left with 3 equals x plus 5. I subtract 5 from both sides. I get x equals negative 2. I must go back to an original equation. Okay, I can't use any other equation. I must use an original. When I do so, I plug in my x value. And when I add these two together, I get y equals positive 1. Our solution set is a point. It's when x is negative 2, y is positive 1. I want you to try the last example on your own, okay, using the substitution method. We will talk about this in class, and we will go over it. If you need help on the substitution method, please look at the linked videos.